on.
Y'all should just do a
You're
content
a fucking goof who drank your baby and
Look, here we go. It's a dumb
Oh my God.
It happened slowly at first. A missed show here, a broken promise there, a live stream meltdown that sent millions into shock. People didn't want to say it out loud, but they could feel it, like watching a runaway train picking up speed. Heading toward a disaster no one could stop. Every post, every outburst, every chaotic moment felt bigger than the last. And as the cameras kept rolling, the world realized something terrifying. This wasn't drama anymore. This was decline in real time, messy, public, and unstoppable. Fans begged for someone to step in. Critics watched like it was a spectacle. And the internet. The internet turned Haroon reveling into entertainment. But behind the headlines, behind the shouting, behind the collapsing relationships and explosive emotions, something deeper was breaking. Something she could no longer hide. Something everyone saw coming, but no one dared to confront. Because this wasn't just a bad day. This wasn't just another viral moment. This was a pattern, spiral, a countdown dot, and now, with the whole world watching, the question isn't what happened to her. It's why no one stopped it when they had the chance. And the most terrifying part, it's still happening. She didn't wake up one morning and decide to fall apart. The truth is far more complicated than that. Her chaos didn't begin with a headline. It began long before the cameras ever knew her name. Long before the world labeled her as unpredictable, she was already carrying storms no one ever saw. Pain layered on pain, pressure layered on pressure. And every time she tried to rise,
I was being real tight and strict because it was like, we don't even really F with each other. What are you doing? Then it went from like, come on, stop being mean to me. All right, I'll stop being mean to you and I'll just be nice talking to you. Now it's back to, he don't really like what I got going on. He don't like that I'm following people back. He called me a pop star. My baby daddy got serious mental issues.
another hit came from a direction she didn't expect. The industry noticed her the moment she stepped into the spotlight. She was loud, raw, emotional, unfiltered, and that energy was magnetic. People loved her for her fire, but they never asked where that fire came from. They never wondered what kind of scars create a personality that explosive. They just consumed it. They shared the clips. They laughed at the chaos. They fed the machine that was slowly breaking her down from the inside. Behind the scenes, the pressure grew brutally fast. Fame didn't come with a manual. It came with demands. More content. More drama. More moments. People didn't want her calm, they wanted her wild. They wanted the unpredictable live streams, the emotional outbursts, the shocking reactions. Every meltdown brought millions of views. Every conflict brought headlines. Every slip-up went viral. And slowly, she stopped being a person and became a spectacle. The relationships around her didn't help. Arguments became storylines. Heartbreak became content. Toxic patterns turned into trending hashtags. Every time she tried to pull herself together, something or someone pushed her right back into the chaos. The world watched her struggle and called it entertainment. They clipped her worst moments, replayed them endlessly.
She pulled up with my other sister, Tareen. Tareen pulled up with a gun. You had to pull up with a gun for Marsh? No. Y'all really want to kill me?
Dissected them like episodes in a TV show. And somewhere inside all this noise, she began to lose control. The fame was overwhelming. The pressure was unbearable. The emotional weight was too heavy to carry alone. Instead of support, she got spotlight. Instead of silence, she got attention. Instead of help, she got cameras. And the most tragic part? Every time she tried to build something stable, the past dragged her backwards. The old wounds. The old habits. The same people, the same cycles, the same traps she couldn't escape. Not because she didn't want to, but because the world kept rewarding the very behavior that was destroying her. This wasn't a dramatic explosion out of nowhere. This was a slow collapse. One live stream, one argument, one bad decision at a time. And deep down, everyone watching knew it. But no one stepped in because the drama was too good. The views were too high. The chaos was too entertaining, and the question nobody wanted to ask was becoming unavoidable. Who was using her pain, and who was ignoring it? The cracks were already there. But the breaking point, that was still coming. The breaking point didn't arrive with a warning. It didn't knock on the door or creep in quietly. It slammed into her life with the force of a wrecking ball, shattering whatever stability she was desperately trying to hold on to. It was one of those moments where everything, the pressure, the pain, the expectations collided all at once. And there was no going back. It started with a night that should have been normal. A small argument, a misunderstanding, a spark that should have died out in minutes. But with her, emotions never stayed small. They grew, they multiplied, they erupted. And this time, the eruption was so intense that the entire internet felt it instantly. A live stream went live, shaky, chaotic, raw. Her voice broke between anger and heartbreak. She paced the room like she was fighting invisible walls. Her emotions kept swinging from rage to tears and back again in a loop she couldn't escape. Millions of viewers flooded in, dropping comments faster than she could breathe. Some begged her to calm down. Some egged her on. Some recorded every second. Some clipped the worst parts and uploaded them within minutes. What should have been a private emotional moment turned into global entertainment instantly. Brutally, mercilessly. And then, the twist at her phone buzzed midstream. One message. One sentence. One final push that sent everything spiraling off the edge. It wasn't from a stranger. It wasn't from a troll. It wasn't from an anonymous fan. It was from someone she trusted. Someone who knew exactly which sentence would hit the deepest part of her fear. Someone who knew her insecurities better than she knew them herself. Someone whose words had the power to turn her entire world upside down. Everyone thinks you're falling apart again. Those words froze her. Her eyes widened. Her expression shifted. The entire stream felt the temperature change because she had been fighting desperately to prove she wasn't falling apart. And in one sentence, that fight collapsed. The live stream cut off. Just a blackout. Nothing but silence. The internet exploded with theories. What happened? Why did she end it like that? Who messaged her? Is she okay? What was she reacting to? People replayed the last 10 seconds over and over, analyzing every breath, every blink, every twitch in her face. They slowed the footage down, trying to catch any hint of what broke. But the truth was far more dramatic than anything the fans imagined, because the message didn't just hurt her emotionally. It triggered a whole chain reaction behind the scenes. People close to her started panicking. Producers started calling. Management started scrambling. Friends started texting nonstop. Whispers started circulating in private group chats. She's not okay. She needs to step away. This is getting out of control. But what no one realized was this. The message wasn't criticism. It was manipulation. Someone wanted her unstable. Someone wanted her emotional. Someone wanted her spiraling. Not for her downfall, but for their benefit. For views. For engagement. For attention. For the storyline, because, as Chess borrowed, the world watched. And as the world watched, the numbers climbed, and that's when the real twist landed. Moments after her stream ended, another live stream from a completely different account went live. A grainy video, a shadowed figure, a voice distorted. Someone claiming they had insider access. Someone claiming they knew exactly what the triggering message meant. Someone claiming they had more proof. The internet lost its mind in seconds. People screamed, "Who is that? What do they know? This is about to get crazy." But the scariest part wasn't the claims. It wasn't the mystery figure. It wasn't the timing. It was the fact that she hadn't even seen this second live stream. Yet, and everything was already spiraling. Beyond her control, the emotional explosion wasn't the end, it was the beginning. And the person behind that message, they weren't done. Not even close. Done. Not even close. The shadow stream didn't just spark chaos, it detonated it. Within minutes, clips were everywhere. Millions of viewers stitched it, analyzed it, slowed it down, amplified the audio, brightened the shadows. Froze frames, dissected the voice. People didn't care who the mysterious figure actually was. They cared about what they claimed to know, but here's what nobody realized. The live stream wasn't revealing anything. It was setting something up as. The internet spiraled over a distorted voice and vague hints. Something far more dangerous was happening behind the scenes. Something she wasn't prepared for. Something she didn't see coming. Because while the world obsessed over the mystery figure, her phone began to flood again. Not with support. Not with comfort. But with reactions, posts, comments, screenshots, hot takes, memes, narratives. Everyone was speaking for her. No one was speaking to her. The story was slipping away. Reshaped by millions of strangers who didn't know her at all. And as that narrative grew louder, a new wave of pressure hit from the people closest to her. Calls from management urging her to control the optics. Messages from collaborators telling her to calm the situation. People she trusted suddenly, sounding less concerned about her and more concerned about the public reaction. It felt like she was drowning not in water but in noise. Meanwhile, that shadow stream kept gaining traction. And then the reveal happened the moment that shifted everything. One of the viewers, a TechSavvy fan, claimed they recognized something in the background of the mysterious live stream. A reflection in the window. A brief flicker of light on glass. Something they thought they could identify. The comment went viral instantly. "I know where that room is." People begged for details. Others called it fake. But the account doubled down, posting a blurry comparison photo to windows. Same pattern, same angle, same glow. Suddenly, the world wasn't wondering who the shadow figure was, but why they were broadcasting from a familiar-looking place. The theory spread like wildfire. The mysterious figure wasn't a stranger. They were someone connected, someone with access, someone who shouldn't be speaking publicly at all. Her name surged to the top of every trending list again. Not because of anything she did, but because of something someone else did in her orbit. The internet locked onto the same question. Was this someone close to her? The pressure on her doubled, then tripled, then spun completely out of control. But while the online world obsessed over the shadow figure's location, they missed the real twist happening in plain sight. A leak not of information, but of timing. A massive media account dropped a cryptic line. "Tonight is only the beginning. A bigger reveal is coming, and it isn't about the mystery figure." That post hit like lightning. What reveal? What else is happening? What do they know? Is something huge dropping tonight? Theories exploded everywhere, spiraling faster than she could breathe. Her hands shook as she scrolled through the chaos. Her heart pounded with that familiar sting, the feeling that something was building over her head, something she didn't control, something that could collapse her entire world without warning. And then her screen froze. Notification popped up. Not from a friend, not from a critic, not from a fan, but from someone she hadn't heard from in months, a name she didn't expect. A name tied to some of her most emotional memories. A name that instantly made her stomach twist. The message was short. "Turn on the live stream. You need to see this." Her pulse spiked. A link followed. She tapped it with shaking fingers. The live stream opened. For a moment, the screen was black dot. Then a figure stepped forward. Not the shadowed person from earlier, someone else. Someone with a face fully visible. Someone the entire world recognized. And the second she saw who it was, her entire expression changed. It wasn't fear. It wasn't anger. It wasn't confusion. It was disbelief. The kind that feels like gravity dropping out from under you. Because the person speaking was someone who should have been on her side, someone who shouldn't have been involved at all. And their first words shook the internet to its core. The live stream didn't buffer. It didn't glitch. It didn't stall. It came in crystal clear, almost too clear, like whoever was behind it had been preparing this moment for a very long time. The room behind the speaker was brightly lit, organized, and professional. No shadows. No distortions. No secrets. Whoever this was, they wanted their face to be seen. And the face was the shock. Someone the public knew. Someone who had been close to her during some of the most unstable moments of her journey. Someone who had stepped away months ago quietly, without explanation, leaving behind nothing but unanswered questions and tension that never healed. She blinked hard, trying to process it. Why now? Why them? Why like this? The person on screen leaned toward the camera, speaking calmly, almost rehearsed, like they weren't just revealing something. They were unveiling a plan. Everyone thinks they understand what's happening, they said, but no one is seeing the full picture. The comments exploded instantly. What is going on? Why is this person talking? Is this for real? This is about to blow up everything. She stared, frozen, unable to look away. The speaker continued, "You're all watching the wrong storyline. The chaos you saw these past 24 hours. That wasn't random. And it wasn't triggered by one comment or one live stream. There are people influencing this quietly. Strategically, the entire internet held its breath. But then the speaker said something that made her entire body go cold. Someone has been manipulating her reactions on purpose." Her pulse spiked. The person on screen didn't name anyone, didn't point fingers, didn't expose any direct identity, but the implication was devastating. It wasn't the world attacking her. It wasn't strangers causing the spiral. It was someone inside her circle, someone she trusted enough to let close, someone who understood her emotional triggers better than anyone. The live stream comments went nuclear. Who is IT? Someone close to her? This is crazy. She needs to get away from them. What is happening? Her breathing quickened. Her hands trembled. The room felt smaller and smaller. She wanted to turn the stream off, but she couldn't. She needed to hear every word. She needed to understand how deep this went. The speaker continued, "There's someone behind the emotional explosions. Someone feeding her the exact words and situations that push her into chaos. Someone who benefits every time she breaks down online." Her heart dropped. Not because she knew who it was, but because she didn't. If the speaker was telling the truth, it meant the emotional storms weren't entirely random. Someone close to her had been fueling them, shaping them, maybe even timing them. But then came the sentence that pushed the drama into an entirely new dimension. She already knows this person. And when she realizes who it is, everything will change. Her eyes widened. The internet froze. And the speaker paused, deliberately letting millions of viewers lean in at the exact same moment. Then they said, "The proof is already out there. You just haven't connected the dots." Chaos erupted. People rewound the stream. People searched old clips. People dug through past events. People guessed names left and right. Every corner of social media erupted into speculation. Meanwhile, she stood still, staring at the screen, her mind sprinting through every interaction. Every argument, every unexpected text, every emotional push. Every moment that felt off without explanation. Had there been signs? Had she ignored warnings? Had someone really been steering her breakdowns for attention? Then the live stream speaker leaned closer, eyes locked with the camera. "One final detail," they said quietly, "before this gets bigger than anyone expects." The comment section began to scream. The speaker took a breath. The person influencing her isn't doing it alone. The internet detonated. Not one person. Not one manipulator. It's a group. A coordinated force pushing her emotional state for content, drama, and engagement. She stepped back, her heart thundering. This wasn't a single betrayal. It was a network, a system, a cycle. The live stream ended abruptly. No goodbye, no conclusion, just a blackout. Millions were left in shock, but the biggest twist hadn't landed yet. Seconds later, her phone lit up again. A new message from an unknown number. Just one sentence. They're closer than you think. The moment the message flashed across her screen, the world erupted. Social media didn't just react, it ignited. It was like every platform had been holding its breath, waiting for the spark. Waiting for the moment everything tipped from chaos into complete, uncontrollable frenzy. Within minutes, her name dominated every trending category. Not one, not two. All of them timelines flooded with theories, edits, commentary, emotional breakdowns, and panic threads trying to make sense of this spiraling situation. People weren't whispering anymore, they were shouting. People weren't whispering anymore, they were shouting. This is bigger than we thought. Someone close to her is manipulating everything. What does their closer than you think mean? Who is involved? What is happening behind the scenes? Every reaction came with a sense of urgency. Every opinion felt like a warning. Every debate sounded like a countdown. Fans who once celebrated her raw honesty suddenly shifted into fear. Many posted long emotional threads begging her to protect herself, step back, regroup, breathe. Others insisted the entire situation was orchestrated by unnamed figures around her, people who thrived off the emotional chaos. People who treated her most vulnerable moments like episodes in a reality show. The tone online changed rapidly. It wasn't entertainment anymore. It was concern, mixed with fascination, mixed with suspicion, and then the celebrities weighed in, not with direct statements. No one dared attach themselves too closely, but with cryptic posts, symbolic emojis, vague comments that made everything even more confusing. One artist posted a single broken heart emoji. Another posted a clock. Another simply wrote, "Timing is everything." Others shared a message that said, "Protect your energy before someone else drains it." People immediately tied every vague comment to her situation, whether it was connected or not. The industry insiders, the bloggers, the analysts, they all jumped in next. Their headlines grew darker, their tones more dramatic, their predictions more intense. Something is happening behind the scenes. Someone is controlling the narrative. This is no longer a public meltdown. This is a crisis. A popular commentary channel released a 30-minute breakdown, analyzing her past emotional moments and connecting them to the mysterious warning in the live stream. They slowed footage down, dissected her expressions, matched timelines, and presented theories that spread like wildfire. People who had never spoken about her before suddenly claimed to have insight. Podcasts rushed to record emergency episodes. Talk shows shifted their topics last minute. Every platform dug through old clips, old patterns, old signs they believed they had missed. Supporters defended her fiercely, insisting that she was overwhelmed, exploited emotionally, and surrounded by people who didn't prioritize her well-being. They begged the internet to stop feeding the chaos. Critics, however, argued that she was repeating old cycles of emotional explosions, public breakdowns, sudden disappearances, and that this mystery only added fuel to the fire. But the most intense reactions came from people who noticed something unsettling: the silence from her inner circle. No one who had been close to her emotionally, creatively, or personally said a word. No clarifications, no reassurance, no denial, no explanation, not a single comment. That silence became the loudest part of the entire disaster. Because if nothing was wrong, why wasn't anyone stepping in? Why wasn't anyone calming the storm? Why wasn't anyone defending her? The absence of support electrified the speculation. And just when the internet thought it had reached peak intensity, something else happened. Something that sent a new wave of panic and curiosity across every platform. A major entertainment columnist posted a chilling sentence: "This isn't the climax. This is thibbled up." People froze. What build dash up? What was coming next? What did they know that the public didn't? Suddenly, the reactions turned from confused to fearful, from noisy to paranoid, from chaotic to silent. just for a moment. As everyone realized, there was another twist on the way. A twist no one saw coming. A twist that would change the entire narrative. The energy shifted without warning. One moment, the internet was spiraling with theories. The next, everything went unnervingly quiet, as if millions of people felt the same chill at the same time. Something was building behind the scenes, something bigger than the live streams. It's bigger than the cryptic messages. It's bigger than the emotional explosions that had already taken over the entire online world. She felt it before anyone said a word. It wasn't a sound. It wasn't a notification. It was a sensation, the kind that hits the chest before the mind understands it. A tightening, a pressure, a sense that someone, somewhere, had just made a move she wasn't prepared for. Her phone buzzed. A new alert. Not from a person, from a platform. A massive account known for breaking explosive stories posted a countdown. No caption, no explanation, just numbers, ticking down, second by second. The world stared at it, confused and terrified at the same time. What's happening? Why a countdown? What is dropping? Is this connected to everything going on? Before anyone could decode it, her phone lit up again, this time with a video file sent from an anonymous source. No name, no profile picture, no context, just a blank screen with the words, "You deserve to know the truth before the world sees it." Her throat tightened as she tapped it open. The video began with silence. Then a room came into focus, a room she recognized instantly, a room she had been in countless times, a room connected to some of her most vulnerable moments. Her stomach dropped. Someone had been recording when she never realized. A camera was present, a shaky angle, a doorway, a reflection in glass, a blurred silhouette she couldn't identify. And then audio, whispers, not loud enough to catch every word, but clear enough to hear the intention. A conversation, a plan, a strategy, not to help her, not to support her, but to push her, emotionally, publicly, dramatically, exactly when it benefited them. It wasn't a confession, it wasn't evidence of wrongdoing. Wasn't anyone doing anything illegal, but it was enough to reveal the truth. Someone had been using her emotional reactions as fuel, not harming her directly, but nudging situations, pressuring vulnerable moments, sparking emotional triggers, whispering at the worst possible times. All to magnify the chaos she was already struggling with. Not cruelty, not malice, just exploitation of her emotions for attention, for intensity, for content. Her hands shook as she watched. The video cut off suddenly. As if the sender didn't want her to see more yet, a second message followed. When the countdown hits 0, the world will see what you just saw. Her chest tightened. This wasn't about one person anymore. This wasn't about a fight, a misunderstanding, a meltdown, or a mysterious live stream. This was about control. The loss of it spread across rooms, screens, platforms, and people she once trusted. She stared at the countdown again, minutes left, then seconds. The entire internet was waiting for something. And none of them knew she had already seen it. She felt her heart beat in her throat. Her breathing grew sharp. Her thoughts blurred into panic. Should she speak? Should she disappear? Should she break the silence? Should she warn everyone? Should she protect herself before the drop? A new notification interrupted her spiral. A text from a familiar number. A number she hadn't blocked, though she should have. Don't react, not yet. You're not supposed to see the rest. The rest. Her stomach twisted. There was more. More footage, more conversations, more angles, more secrets. More manipulation she never noticed happening around her. The countdown hit its final seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Her screen froze. One last message appeared, not from a person, but from the anonymous source. Everything changes now. The countdown reached 0, and the screen went black. The world held its breath. The upload began. And now, as the upload begins, as the world waits to see what will be revealed, everything stands on the edge of a moment that could reshape the entire narrative. The countdown may have reached 0, but the story hasn't even reached its peak. What comes next will determine everything: the truth she learns, the alliances she keeps, the circle she trusts, and the version of herself she chooses to become after witnessing what was hidden behind the scenes for so long. But before the next wave hits, there's something you, the viewer, need to do. Because this moment isn't just a reveal. It's a turning point. It's a shift in power. It's a confrontation with reality that no one saw coming. Right now, your perspective matters more than ever. So here's the question. What do you think the hidden footage shows? Is it emotional manipulation from people she trusted? A conversation she was never meant to hear? A montage of moments that finally make the pattern undeniable? Or is it something deeper? Something connected to the silence of the people around her? Something tied to that mysterious countdown? Tell your theories in the comments, all of them. The more unpredictable, the better. This story has already proven that nothing is too far-fetched. Share what you believe is waiting on the other side of that black screen. Because when the reveal drops, every theory will be tested, some proven right, some shattered instantly. If this story has pulled you in, if the intensity has kept you watching, hit the like button so the algorithm pushes this to everyone following the unraveling events. The more attention this gets, the faster the truth spreads. And make sure you subscribe. Turn on notifications. Because the moment the footage becomes public, the moment the full truth is exposed, the moment everything flips again, you will want to be the first to know. This is not the end of the story. It's the cliff before the plunge, the silence before the shock, the breath before the impact. The screen is still black. The upload is still loading. The world is still waiting. And when the next part drops, you won't believe what comes after. Stay ready, stay watching, stay alert. The real story is about to begin.